Okay, here I am. Yay, weekly forecast. welcome everyone. Okay, so just getting comfy here. All right, so I'm really excited to be here doing my weekly forecast. So this week we're talking about how we shift belief systems. And if you're here, please say hello and tell me who you are, because on StreamYard I cannot see everyone's name. So if you are watching, say hi and just tell me who you are so I can say hi to you. Okay, so today we're talking about belief systems. I got the download this morning to talk about this because I think this can be something that can be difficult for some people to wrap their head around. But so any result that you are seeing in your life is based on a belief that you have about yourself. So first of all, before I get like super into this, I just want to say that from an energetic perspective right now, we really have the opportunity to deeply shift our belief systems. It's basically like written in the stars, from an astrological perspective, that this is a time where we are reevaluating and shifting our perspective on how we operate and the way that we look at the world. So this is actually a very powerful time energetically to shift our perspective, right? And to be able to pinpoint the beliefs that might be living in our subconscious that we weren't previously aware of, that are informing the results that we're receiving in our life, and shift them in a really profound way. So I just want to say, from like an astrological energetic perspective, this time, not just like specifically June, but really like this pretty much like whole year period has this energy to it of this process of reevaluation, where we are really able to shift belief systems that are based on the old paradigm and start to operate from belief systems that are within this new paradigm of ascension, of awakening, and of sovereignty and power, and an understanding of who you really are and what you're capable of. So that is what we're kind of moving into, which is what we are moving into as a collective, and what I'm seeing with everybody that I work with. I mean, most of you know, if you've worked with me or you've been following my work, basically everything that I do with people is around shifting your inner landscape, shifting the way that you relate to yourself in the world, so that you have different results in your life, right? And I just shared an amazing story that I'm just going to quickly touch on now, because it's so powerful, but it's also such a perfect testament to this work, which is how when we change our inner landscape, our outer world changes so dramatically. So I have one client who I've actually been working with for a while. She's been in my group programs, but just about 3 months ago, she dove into working with me fully one-on-one. And what that looks like, for those of you who don't know, is you get weekly calls with me, you get Voxer, unlimited Voxer, and then you also get access to all of my group programs, the Metamorphosis and the Quantum Accelerator, and then usually get access to any other little programs I do, like the Quantum Priestess and those type of things. So you kind of get like full access to my world. And she jumped into that a couple months ago because she was feeling really stuck, really stagnant. She was not bringing new clients into her business. She was not making the kind of money that she wanted to be making. She was frustrated in her relationship, and I could see very clearly what she was coming up against, which was her core wounding from childhood. And we all have this, right? It looks different for different people. A lot of it is relational around our relationships with our parents, what we witnessed growing up, and the energy dynamics that we witnessed that we then took on as our own energy dynamics that we continue to play out. Some people have more specific trauma that they went through as children, and some trauma is more, like I said, relational. And this is something I go deeply into when I teach my trauma framework in the Metamorphosis Method certification program, which I'll talk a little bit more about at the end. But so anyway, so I could tell that she was coming up against this core wounding, like her core trauma. And I could see very clearly that as soon as she shifted that, things would really start working for her. So we went in, we used all the tools from the metamorphosis. She moved through it using the tools and using my support. It took a couple weeks for her to go through this uncomfortable period, which that's what happens when we move through our trauma. But when you get support, it's efficient, right? We move through it quickly because you have the support. So anyway, then in May, she had a 5-figure month. Now in June, she's already surpassed 10K, and it's only June 10th, I think. So, and people are like reaching out to her nonstop. Her energy has completely shifted. And things have just started working. Her relationship is improving. All of these opportunities are coming to her. So this is just like a perfect example of the results that we get when we shift the core wounding, when we shift the trauma. Because anytime you're trying to move forward with anything in your life and it's not happening, it just means that you're coming up against a wound, a trauma, or a belief that is stopping you from getting there, right? And we have to be able to pinpoint it and shift it in order for you to get there. And that's essentially what I do with people. So today I want to talk specifically about beliefs, because this can be a little bit elusive, right? Because a lot of these beliefs that are kind of driving the bus, so to speak, that we have, that are kind of driving our decision making, are informing the results that we see in our lives that maybe feel like stuff we don't want, or informing where we're feeling stuck. A lot of times these beliefs are not something that we are aware of because they're living in the subconscious mind. So basically, when you are a young child from the ages of 0 to 7, you create belief systems about yourself and the world based on your experience with your parents and with your environment, right? So if your parents didn't connect with you that much, or they were emotionally unavailable, or you didn't feel safe, or whatever the circumstance was, you make a decision that is the type of that is what the world looks like and feels like, and also that is how you deserve to be treated, or that's what you can expect from other people. Or you internalize a belief about your own sense of worthiness based on what you're seeing in the outer world, and based on the feelings of worthiness that the people around you have. So a lot of times this is not cognitive, this is not verbal, this is an energy that you absorb pre-verbally that informs these unconscious beliefs that you have about yourself and the world, that then informs the results that you're seeing, right? So how do we shift this, right? And how do we even know what they are, right? And the first thing is looking at your results, right? This is the best thing that you can do before you really start diving into the deeper trauma work, is just looking at the results you're getting in your life. If there's something that you're wanting that is not showing up, it means that you're coming up against a belief that you have that is telling you that you can't have that, or for some reason you don't deserve that, or you're not worthy, or whatever it is, right? You're coming up against a belief. So the result that you're getting will inform you of most likely an idea of what that belief is, right? And then the other tool is the breath work, which is why I use breath work with every single one of my clients, no matter what program you're in, no matter how you're working with me, we use breath work. Why? Because it gives you access to the subconscious mind. And when you gain access to the subconscious mind, you start to bring those beliefs that are living in the subconscious into the conscious mind so that you can become aware of them, so that you can shift them, because we can't shift something if we don't know what it is. So we have to bring the subconscious beliefs into the conscious so that we can become aware of them, and so that we can shift them, right? And again, this is not something that you can just go in and do on your own. You might have some awarenesses of certain things, but this is the type of thing that you really need to get support around to help you be able to see some of this stuff, because sometimes it's really hard to see on your own. So how do we shift these beliefs? First, we have to become conscious of them by using the breath work. First, we look at the results we're getting in our lives. If you want something that you're not getting, it means you have a belief about that that's blocking you. Then you can use the breath work to intentionally have access to the subconscious so that you can start to become more aware of these beliefs. And then we have to go through the work of shifting our inner landscape so that we start operating from a different belief system that is based in self-love, acknowledgement, understanding, versus operating from a belief system of low self-worth or shame or whatever it is. So this is not something that can be done overnight or quickly, but it can definitely be done. And that's why I've created the tools that I've created, because I have made a streamlined process to help you shift these belief systems so that you start seeing a different result, right? And that's what the Metamorphosis Method certification program is all about. Because what ended up happening is I started doing the Metamorphosis program with people. And I always say, you guys have probably heard me share, when I first created the Metamorphosis, I thought it was just going to be a program about breath work. But as people started going through it, I started seeing that everyone was massively healing familial and ancestral trauma and stepping into their gifts. And I was like, holy shit, I think I really have something here. So then what I did is I started to look at what I was doing with people in the Metamorphosis, not only the tools I've created, but what I was doing with them. And then I created a methodology based on the understanding that I had about trauma, the tools that I was using, and what I was seeing about people's family patterns and dynamics. And once I realized that there was a very straightforward method of what I was doing to help people make these shifts, then I was like, holy shit, I can teach this to people, and more people can heal from trauma. More and more people can start living the lives that they want, and they don't have to just work with me. They can work with you too, because now you know how to do this too, and we can have even more of an impact on the world. Because ultimately, yes, I want to help people shift their lives so that they can be living in alignment with who they really are, their soul's calling, their gifts, and activating and impacting other people. But ultimately, my goal is to have a huge impact and change the way we're living on this planet. And the only way I see to do that is by clearing our trauma, because we cannot make real changes within ourselves and the world if we're operating from wounding. We're just going to keep recreating the same trauma cycles over and over again. So this program is more than just a certification program. This is about creating a new paradigm, and this is about me teaching you these tools so that you can then take them and add them to what you're already doing with clients. Or if you're just starting a business and you're just kind of getting a handle on what you do, it's something that you can incorporate that is not only going to expand what you're able to do with people, it's going to expand your growth, accelerate your growth tremendously, and it's going to accelerate and grow your income, because now you have cleared your own trauma, which always leads to making more money. Always, always, always. Every time anyone clears their trauma, they start making more money. So this certification program is my body of work that can help you shift these belief systems that are holding you back and that are keeping you from seeing the results that you want to see, and will empower you to use it with your clients as well. So you will master learning how to facilitate breath work for your clients, how to channel energy work for your clients, how to use the proven tools that I've created from the Metamorphosis to shift familial and ancestral trauma. And then also you will be certified and embodied in being trauma informed, because I'm going to teach you my trauma framework that I have come up with that really works and really helps you have a full embodied understanding of what it means to be trauma informed, so that you can bring that into the work that you do with your clients. So that's what the program's all about. We are in early bird pricing until June 15th. So I think we have 5 more days of early bird pricing, which is $1,000 discount on the program. It will never be this price again. So if you are feeling the pull towards it, just reach out to me and I can send you the link to fill out the application. And I can send you all the information about it. The group that is already forming is amazing. I'm so excited for all the women that have already signed up. It's a 9-month long program. We meet twice a month, plus you do a practice session each month. So you give a session and receive a session each month. Plus you get access to my metamorphosis program and you get access to those calls too. So for the price, you get so much, probably like double of what you would normally get, because you're already getting access to the metamorphosis as well. So it's an incredibly comprehensive program. You will definitely come out a different person, having a whole new skill set of things you can do, not only with your clients, but with yourself as well. So if this is something that is calling to you or you want more info, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to give that to you. Like I said, early bird ends June 15th. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about it. But also, if you are really called to this idea of shifting your unconscious beliefs, this is how to do it. And I haven't seen anything else like this on the planet, of a very streamlined way to shift these things. So if you want to talk more about it, reach out to me. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'm sending you so much love, and I will talk to you soon.